I said that many times. 35 is my favorite focal length on the full-frame cameras. It's versatile and great for almost everything I do, from portraits to street and landscape. I recently returned to Fuji as my everyday APS-C camera. There's just something magical about this system and their imaging that draws you in, and once you try it, you always crave that mystic power. I was wondering which lens should I choose for my X-T30 Mark II. As a 35mm focal length lover, considering the APS-C ratio, the obvious choice was a 23mm, which gives you the 35 equivalent of a full-frame camera. The 23 is also the same focal length you can find on X100 series. But in the end, I got myself the 35 f2. Although this lens gives you roughly the 50mm FOV, I think this lens suits the X-T30 Mark II experience better. The Nifty 50 is considered a must-have for all photographers. It's not wide and not too tight for many scenarios. You can get a nice distortion-free image and good background separation for portraits. In this case, the aperture of f2 lets in pretty good amount of light and produces a nice, well, maybe a little boring for my taste, but decent bokeh. I've shot this lens for about 3 months now, and considering its compact size and good performance, I think I made a good choice. It's nice and sharp from f2, and with just a little soft far corners, it reaches its best sharpness to contrast performance between f2.8 and f4. The close-up image quality is okay, but a little soft while wide open. In my opinion, however, for everyday photography, it's more than enough. You can get pretty nice contrasty details and keep your distance for the street shots. The 35 f2 is also a little smaller than 23 f2, thus making it more discreet and better balanced, especially if you want to use additional filters on it. Speaking of filters, I really like to put the diffusion filter on it, making the images look more vintage, film-like. I think this lens is a quintessence of Fuji's system. It's compact, nicely designed, with great contrast, and that distinct rendering, which is a little, I don't know, stale for me, but it's got that clean yet not clinical image quality that you just appreciate the more you work with it. I'm really happy that I returned to Fuji after all this time, and I'm glad I didn't pay the fortune for the X106. The 35 f2 is just a great reminder of my past experience with the 35 1.4, but in this case, I don't miss the 1.4. The days when I needed that shallow depth of field to cover boring background compositions are over. And although you can get a really good background separation with f2 as well, I tend to shoot at f2.8 or f4, which made me think even more about the framing. For me, this lens is a gem that I will surely keep in my happy camera chest.